I'm Melina Matsoukas. Keep watching Redtv. Feel the heat. I think it's no more important now than it has been in the past. I think now we're just taking our narrative and controlling it. I believe greatly in the equality between men and women, and the equality between all people, people of color, Black people, white people. And I think it's time that we tell our own stories, and that we do that unfiltered without anyone else's notes, or trying to whitewash our stories. Just to show how much we relate to each other and how authentic our stories can be when we have control of our narrative. You know, I had been looking for a film for a long time and nothing really hit me deeply. And Lena said she was writing the script and I really loved the premise. But I was still hesitant because I had read a lot of bad scripts. Not from her. But then when I read it, it was just everything. It was everything I wanted, not only as a director or as an artist, but also as a human. You know, it was political, it had something to say, it was radical, it was challenging the status quo. And then it was just beautiful. It was this beautiful Black love story representing people that I hadn't seen before on screen and that I wanted to see, that I just knew I was a fan of this story. Even if I wasn't the creator, it's something I would want to watch. And I knew it was for me. I knew I could visualize it. I saw it immediately jump off the page. And hopefully you do too. You know, I couldn't have asked for better artists. They were really gifts, you know. They had this connection and this chemistry that was undeniable from the start. And they elevated my vision to places I couldn't have imagined. They were also just like a sense of home, I think, in the middle of that. You know, it was quite a difficult shoot and having it was like having your brother and sister with you every day, you know, holding your hand, taking you through it. We would challenge each other, we'd laugh together, we'd argue at the same time, you know, just making sure that the art that we're creating is to the best level that it could be. And I do feel like, you know, that was a blessing I was given to make this film, and they had a purpose in being there. It was by design that they were meant to be Queen and Slim. Yeah, I mean, I think so much of my life resonates in Queen and Slim, not just, I grew up in the Bronx, I grew up in Jersey, you know, I come from a very multicultural family. I'm very proud of my Blackness. But I think all the influences of who I am and my experiences, you'll see on screen. You know, obviously one of the main issues that we're combating is police brutality. And I remember my first experience that really hit me with that was in the Bronx. There was this man he was an immigrant, an African immigrant named Amadou Diallo. He was shot 41 times on the steps of his apartment building. Just for being Black. He was reaching for his wallet. They said he had a gun. And they killed this man who was just in America trying to find a better way of life. And I went to that apartment building and I remember touching the wall where he had been killed with the shots in the wall. And that's just not something you don't forget, you know? And it really hit me deeply and it stayed with me. And I knew I had purpose in life and I wanted to be a part of combating systematic racism and issues like police brutality. And so when I read the script, it really resonated with me, you know, and I could really see my experiences on that page. So much of this film is about Black resilience, right? And that even in struggle, even in times of battle, that we still find love, that we still find joy, we still find culture, we still find moments to laugh and cry and dance and share that together and eat. Food is very big for me. So I think that just speaks to our strength as Black people. You know, we always find that time to connect with each other, no matter what we're battling. I had it last night. You know, that was the first thing. It actually wasn't the best version of it though. So we were at the hotel. I'm gonna get a better version today because it was late and they were like, that's all that's open. And I was like, I want jollof, but I know this ain't totally right because I've had it many times. So I'm gonna be on the search for the proper version. Don't tell anyone where I'm staying because I don't want to offend anybody's cooking, but I gotta get out in the street and connect. But I'm on the hunt for the perfect jollof. So give me a recommendation. Sometimes, I mean, I go in with a plan, you know, sometimes I completely abandon it. I think, you know, as a director, you have to challenge yourself to always see and not just focus on what you've prepared, right? That you get to set and things might have to totally change from how you approached it, depending on time or place or just what's in front of you. You know, and you set something up and sometimes you're like, oh, this is beautiful, but most of the times you're like, this could be way better, but I'm just gonna live with it for now. And you make do. But no, I really try to pay attention to every detail. And I know that every part of the frame really tells a story, whether it's, you know, what someone is wearing or the paint color on the back of a wall or how they're moving, you know, their hands. They're all telling you something about these characters and these people and their history. So I just pay attention to the details. And then I try not to obsess too much about, about symmetry and all the details at the same time. So I think because of my sensitivity coming from music videos, I actually edited with no music. And I wanted to make sure the performances and the scenes would work and be strong enough just by themselves. And then I got to layer in the music. I also didn't want to use music as a crutch. I wanted it to enhance the story that we were telling, but not to tell the audience or dictate how you need to feel at a certain time and place. I wanted to bring back the soundtrack. You know, I grew up with soundtracks like Love Jones and Nutty Professor, Boomerang. And I wanted to show our history as Black people, right? How we're all connected and how we have these amazing voices and a history of amazing voices from soul to hip hop to Afrobeat to bounce, you know, and just show like how diverse we are at the same time. Introduce young, you know, audience to older artists and vice versa. And so I started to layer in the music. You know, also I used the music as kind of a geographical journey for them. So you could tell where they were by the sounds that you're hearing. So when they get to New Orleans, you hear bounce, which is a local sound from New Orleans. In Mississippi, it's the blues. So, you know, it also traces where they are geographically, and I was able to use music in that way, so I didn't have to like cut to a bunch of signs on their road trip. But obviously I'm a music lover. And it was really important to me. And the choices come from, you know, a combination of my influences was on my playlist, what I enjoyed listening to. Some of my friends gave me some recommendations. Some stuff was written into the script. So it's kind of like a combination of all of us coming together as music lovers and artists to create the best soundtrack to Queen and Slim. I love Fela. And I had put the song in, his song in during it was actually in my temporary edit. And we were talking about artists now who could really speak to that. And he fell in love, obviously, with doing like a new rendition of a Fela song. And he gave us a gift, because I'm like, this is amazing. And obviously I'm a big fan and coming together with Motown. And my friend who runs Motown Ethiopia, she really put me on to him and the incredible movement he's created. And it just all came together for us. I think so. I don't know when, but I like to move between everything. I like to do videos. That's always gonna be my passion. I grew up an MTV baby. You know, listening to videos, watching videos. I taped them on my VCR and play them back like it was a mixtape. That's what really carved my lens as a director. So that's my first love, and I'm sure I'll return to it when the time is right, the artist is right. Maybe it'll be a burner track. Hey. But yeah, I'd love my career to be full of videos and television and films, and just be like that diversity of all the mediums. I'm not gonna choose. because I don't choose between my babies. But I'll say a couple of my favorite videos. I would say Snoop Dogg Sensual Seduction is one of my favorites. That was actually really fun to shoot. Solange's Losing You, one of my faves. Beyonce's Formation, Rihanna's We Found Love. I'm gonna stop there.